Alright, so here we are in round 1 against Death Bomber. This is a prestigious incident here because we get a chance to play first, and I'm really liking this hand. The hand looks good. There's a little bit of removal. We've got a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and then late in the game we actually have one of our rares that I don't know if it's good or not, but we have one, so I figured why not go ahead and give it a shot. He leads off with a Spire Tracer, and I'm lucky to follow up with my Guild Mage, so at least if we start trading damage, it'll be 1 for 2. He does rush in for his 1, and as the follow-up, he doesn't have anything, which is pretty lucky for me. So at this point, I have a choice to either throw Madcap skills on this thing, or to get more creatures on the board, and I decided to get a creature on the board. I could have thrown down the Madcap skills and kept mugging up, but I kind of felt like I wanted to start moving toward my 3 creature quota, to start getting Battalion online, especially if next turn I end up pulling something like a Goblin. And then he throws down a Croconora. So that's pretty good. So I can throw down Madcap skills at this point and still hold up mugging. So it just is a matter of whether or not he decides to block my Guildmage with the Croconora. And he went back and forth for a while, and I wasn't really sure if he was going to do it. But then eventually he does do it, and that's fantastic, because at least I can get in for a bunch of damage, and I can also get rid of that Croconora, so I don't have to worry about it evolving and becoming just too big to get past. He throws down an Ember Beast, which is really good for him, and I'm just kind of drawing land. But hey, I do have enough land for this Assemble the Legion, so why not assemble? I look at my attacks here and decide whether or not I want to just 2 for 1 him. He could have some sort of like Furious Resistance or something with that red up, so I just decide instead to Assemble the Legion and start getting my 3 creature count online. He responds back with a Zertos Swine, and that is a pretty big creature. So I'm gonna have to deal with that in some way. So Assemble the Legion. Here goes the engine, the soldier producing engine of death. 1 soldier down. Just drawing land at this point, so it's good that I have something on the board that's actually creating some kind of board presence, because I'm not drawing any cards, that's for sure. He's swinging with a bunch, and I have to think about what to do here. I don't really feel like losing guys, so right now I just decide to throw down the soldier. He's kind of expendable, and plus, if Assemble the Legion stays on the board, we'll be getting 2 of his brethren next turn. So, sorry, Assemble the Legion guy, but you're just the sacrificial lamb. Crown Ceratok, though, getting out some really big beaters here. And I know that I need to figure out a way to get that board presence going. So I have my mana to create a creature token at the end of his turn, and then pop 2 more stand up, and we pull our big Cyclops guy, and that's pretty good, I think. So we're starting to get to the point now where we can actually maybe think about getting some. We can still do some chumps because we're going to have 3 soldiers next turn if he allows that Assemble the Legion to stay on the board, and we have a big crackback coming. So he gets a really good draw in Madcap skills on a Spire Tracer. I have absolutely no way to deal with that. We have flyers, but we haven't seen them yet, and we're at a point where I have to either deal with it or die. So luckily, after doing my math, I discovered that basically there was almost no way for him to survive outside of some like crazy trick where he could put down like a bunch of instant guys, but he only has 1 card in hand. So what I have here is enough mana to pump all of my dudes twice with the Guild Mage to make them all 3/1s, and that's basically enough to kill him on turn 1. So other than that, we weren't really seeing too much. We were kind of just seeing some more lands. So Assemble the Legion, doing work. Taking out one of my Hellraiser Goblins for a Armored Transport, just because he has some pretty decent creatures that I don't really feel like running into. So this hand looks pretty good. I'm not doing anything until turn 3, so that's kind of bad, but it's got some really good creatures in it. So just leading off with the Guild Gate while he has his Spire Tracer, and he's got a really aggressive start. He's also got a Disciple of the Old Ways, or whatever it's called. That guy's pretty good if you're doing the Gruul thing. I like a 2/2 first striker for 2. That's not bad. So basically right now he can come in for 3, and I have absolutely no way to deal with it. I don't even have a creature to use Martial Glory on, so I can't really stop it. Out of the creatures that I would want to put down, obviously the 2/3 is the way to go, because if I had to, I could block the Disciple of the Old, and plus this will give me a chance to see whether or not he has a trick, because I know that if he swings in with that guy, he's either making a pretty crazy bluff or he has a trick and he doesn't swing in with him, so that's pretty sweet. Or you just wanted to play the Ivy Lane Denizen, which is really good. So yeah, you probably just saw there that I pulled a Firemane Avenger and played it immediately. And that's pretty crazy, because he needs to get rid of that guy, or all of his little 3 toughness creatures are going to die when I start swinging. And I've been holding back that Hellraiser Goblin for just such an occasion. So I tap my mana to make sure that we can hold up Martial Glory. And now all my dudes have haste, so I can swing with everything and get a bunch of battalion going. And the battalion is going to be sweet. So the Warmind Infantry becomes a 4/3, and I go ahead and shock that Ivy Lane Denizen out of the way, because quite frankly, that's the only guy that can make a favorable block, and that guy's ability is amazing. So gaining the 3 life, removing a creature, and swinging for 3 in the air is just awesome. So right here, Disciple of the Old, that was his one favorable block, but I had the Martial Glory, so I'm pretty much going to wipe him off the entire board, leaving him with just a Spire Tracer, which is fantastic. So I give my Fire Main guy, the Avenger, a +3, and giving the Goblin the +3 to defense, or the Fire Main Avenger +3 to offense, and then the Hellraiser Goblin +3 to defense. And this swing here either meant that like he had nothing, or he had something amazing, and when he passed the turn, I just assumed he had nothing, because at this point, I have pretty much everything on the board. And I'm like, do I even want to play this Sunhome Guild Mage? I just don't need to, because I'm going to peg him in the face with my Avenger, so that's going to be 3 damage already. And he just really, I can't think of what he could possibly do to stop this. So that's pretty much the way round 1 went. The deck really operated like it was supposed to. It was just a fantastic deck. It's kind of like my first time drafting Boros. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys for round 2.